Good morning. Hello. Hey, Mitchell here. Welcome. Today I think we're going to do a meditation. And the focus of our meditation is inseparability or oneness. So we're going to start as always with our breath. And it's a 2 count in, 3 to 4 count out. And only through the nose. And this is a down-regulating breath, so it kicks in your parasympathetic nervous system, turns on that rest and relax, the safety. So in other words, just by breathing in a way that is calming, which is diaphragmatic breaths through the nose, longer exhale than inhale, we downregulate the body. We turn the body itself towards meditation. And as we move the body into meditation, then the mind follows. Because the mind, in so many cases, really is following the body. The body gives us cues, and then the mind decides what must happen. You know, whether you're in safety or whether you're in security, then the mind operates or makes adjustments in how you perceive the world. So let's just come into the nose breath. And as you do, when you breathe only in and out through the nose, you stimulate diaphragmatic breathing. The diaphragm is the one that wants to pull in the air. When you're breathing through your mouth, it stimulates intercostal breathing, especially upper chest breathing. So in and out through the mouth is fast breathing. It just fills the top part of the lungs. Breathing in and out through the nose deepens the breath, brings your breath down here where there's a much higher concentration of alveoli, those little exchangers where your oxygen comes in and your carbon dioxide is released. It's down in the lower parts of your lungs and also blood pools there. So you have a more positive oxygen exchange into the blood cells. So let's just spend a moment really feeling the breath down in the belly. Feel the diaphragm as it inhales, it pulls down. And as it exhales, it releases back up into the rib cage. And simply breathing in and out through the nose, longer exhale than inhale, your entire body comes into relaxation. And this is a breath to use, when you're upset too. So many times you hear, take a deep breath. When things are tense or upsetting. And a deep breath actually gives you the wrong stimulation. It actually, a deep breath continues the sympathetic response, but it adds a little bit of dopamine to it. So it feels good, but it's not getting you to where you want to go, which would be to downregulate. So when you want to downregulate, smaller breaths in and out only through the nose, longer exhale than inhale. So your body should have come into a meditative state. And now close your eyes and draw your attention down to the diaphragm. And with your focus, your attention down at the diaphragm, notice the air coming in and out, or maybe the sensation, maybe the tightness as your lungs fill, and the vacuum as they release. Notice your shoulders, your ears, your neck. And if your shoulders are tense, drop them down away from your ears. And I brought up your ears. Why notice your ears? Well, the vagal nerve exits out through that process, that space just below the ears. And so a lot of times if you have tension, it starts around the ears, starts around the back of the jaw, and it's not the muscles, it's that vagus nerve that's telling you to go into fight or flight. And so now as we're actively turning it off, you should feel it relax. You should feel your ears actually drop. As you will feel your shoulders actually drop, because that nerve comes out just below the ears, follows the neckline down, out, around, beyond not beyond, but behind the shoulders, down the back. And just observe the expansion and the contraction of the breath. And then, as you breathe, really bring your attention to the diaphragm. And it's a difficult one to bring a lot of focus to. It's a big muscle that goes across your body, transversely from the front, from your sternum, all the way to the spine, to the back, to the spine, and it attaches along the rib cage all the way around the perimeter. And now that the ventral vagal nerve, the front vagus nerve that helps you come into a downregulated state. It's the parasympathetic. It's the safety and the well-being state that is triggered by the parasympathetic. It passes through the middle of the diaphragm. So as you pay attention to your diaphragm, or just imagine the diaphragm rising and falling, it's gently activating this parasympathetic rest and relax, safety response. And as you observe the diaphragm rising and falling, allow yourself to just come deeper and deeper into a full body meditation. Now your focus is not on the mind. Your focus is down in the center of your body. It's in the core of your body. And notice that. Notice that you can move the focus, your focus, this focus of attention away from thoughts and deep into the body. And notice that the focus, as it comes into the body, takes on the feeling, the sensations of the body itself. And that's the amazing capacity of this focus, is it's tremendously empathetic to wherever the focus is. And so this focus, you might consider it the larger I, the you that watches you. As you watch, notice how it becomes, you become more solidified with this focusing aspect. And with the eyes closed and this attention right there at the diaphragm, right there at the point of contact from the diaphragm and the parasympathetic or the ventral vagal nerve, just notice the sensations, the awareness that comes with that. Notice the calmness, the well-being, and you may even see colors. Just by keeping your focus here at the solar plexus. Now there's a lot of meditations out there that have you come into the heart center, and I highly recommend those, but I also recommend that you spend some time getting to know this point. This is your solar plexus point. This is the point where you have the control to be able to moderate your own response, reaction, intake of the world. Now you can come to the heart, excuse me, you can come to the heart directly, but right here at the solar plexus area, when you become aware of your ventral vagal and diaphragm connection, you'll notice that you can bring calm to yourself very, very quickly here. And as you do bring the calm to this space, then it becomes more of a natural movement from here to your heart center. Because you're jumping out of the mind, deep into the body, and you're finding a way to turn down the volume of the body, all the signals that the body is responding to and putting out. Once they are unified with I'm safe, I'm fine, everything is okay, then we move from there to the heart. Then it's far more powerful, whatever it is where you want to expose the heart to. And maybe expose isn't the right word, it's just allow the heart center to be in awareness. And you notice by just bringing up the heart center as we have begun our attention by coming into the diaphragm, it's as if the heart itself has a platform. And the solar plexus, exactly what it means, the sun, the sun is the battery of our galaxy. And so the solar plexus is the battery of your body. So your deeper energy, your subtle energy comes in and can grow through the solar plexus, and then it can in turn charge the other components of your energetic body, such as your heart, your throat, your creativity, your interactivity, your ability to unite with your larger self. Not that you're ever not united, but awareness of that unity expands it tremendously. And when I say awareness, it's this focusing you as this you that is much larger than the thinking part of you connects with the upper chakras, upper energy centers. Then you become far more engaged with this larger peace, with this infinite peace. The awareness that it penetrates the ego piece that is always trying to separate. And so the ego piece is what differentiates, creates distinctions, separates one item from another, one individual from another, one creature from another. But consciousness is not separated. It sees it all as a flow. And just like the image of the drop from the ocean, but when you put that drop back into the ocean, you can't determine its boundaries. And so that's where consciousness views all of us, all of this. It's a flow. It's a rise and a fall. And even the concept of good and bad blends together. Everything has a purpose. Everything is all together, even though from the perspective from the ego, there's strong motivators. And oftentimes these motivators are good or evil. Just by the labels that the mind uses in order to differentiate. And then we further break that down into what's good for me. And by doing this, oftentimes that larger good and evil disintegrates because what's good for me may be bad for the rest. And as we become deeper and deeper in our higher awareness, those capacities fall away. So that what's good for me is good for all. But it's a continuum. And so those who experience that in their own way, they contribute as well. So you can continue with being in focus, being in awareness of the breath, of the diaphragm rising and falling, of the heart center, and maybe you've been in the higher centers, noticing the unity of all that is. And if you wish to stay inside, please do. You can pause the video or just ignore my words, but we're going to come out. So we're going to bring focus back through, we're going to condense it back into the diaphragm area. Still noticing the rise and the fall of the diaphragm. That gentle awareness that comes from the diaphragm and the interaction with the ventral vagal nerve that follows through the hole right through the middle of the diaphragm. We're going to notice again the soothing quality of being aware of the flow of the breath and the rise and the fall of the diaphragm can have. And then we're gently going to open the eyes, continuing to keep our focus as best we can on the diaphragm, but we're going to open the eyes, we're going to let in a little bit of light. And as we let in light, we're not naming anything. We're not putting labels or noticing, we're just noticing light. And this is the very first interaction with ego, which is separation. There's something outside. And we can continue to open the eyes and welcome the rest of the shapes and forms that we encounter through vision. And we'll notice that the awareness that is in the diaphragm, that is in the solar plexus, comes and goes as awareness of what's outside of us begins to command more and more of our attention. So be in continuous flow back and forth from that breath and that's out here. So anyway, that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. Leave me a comment, press like, subscribe, all those general things that we ask for, please do. I don't put out tons of videos, so I won't be bothering you too much. But thank you so much, and it was wonderful to be here with you. Bye-bye.